Welcome to the PSL podcast, presented by Power Speaks Louder.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the PSL podcast. I'm so excited to, be sitting here with Shannon Nicole. This is my girl right here.
Aw, B, you give me way too much credit.
Listen, okay, so the last time we spoke with Shannon, many of you, I'm not sure who tapped into the Sound Palette episode on Instagram, but she dropped some keys on us. She talked about investing and what she does. So this topic of the podcast today is called Money Moves.
Yes.
Money Moves. I think I have a little sound effect for Money Moves.
Okay.
I think. You see?
Wait.
Oh, there you go. Yes. So with Money Moves, we want to have a conversation and really invite you into this whole process because Shannon and I have conversations about financial stewardship
all the time,
and just like allowing our audiences just to be in the room with us. Do your own research. So allow this podcast to be just a conversation to help you, go and do more research and to look into different ways to be a good steward over your money. Yeah, we're just here and we're ready to talk. Before we get into money moves, okay, let's first have a conversation about money mindset. Okay, are you ready for that?
Not really, but everything you do is just always random, and I don't think I ever have a time to prepare for anything B has to.
Let me tell you, she is always prepared for the get down. Okay, she, like I said, she dropped some keys on us, if y'all remember. And I may actually, let's play a clip of that. Let's play it real quick.
Okay.
Yeah. Shannon is a financial advisor. She's about her paper, okay? She is an investor. She is a woman that is about financial stewardship, all right? So look out for her soon to be teaching, all right? Financial literacy. Okay?
Don't put that type of pressure on me.
Financial stability, okay? Because this is what she does. So then, as you can see, that was like the last conversation we had. Got to cut a little bit short because I want you to actually drop some real keys on that. But let's talk about money mindset. So with money mindset, what comes to mind to you when we talk about money?
For me personally, money is a tool and something that creates freedom.
Yeah.
So when I look at money in that way, I'm able to change the trajectory of my life, my family's, and the goal is generations to come.
That's right.
And I can't say I always looked at money like that. I just didn't have the knowledge or the insight that at my age and what I do now allows me to have. So I think one of the biggest keys in like money and money mindset is actually using money as a tool, as a way to better yourself.
Right.
So I think until you grasp that concept, you'll never have enough of it.
Exactly. And that actually, that reminds me, what you just said is like your why, because I think it's truly important to have a why before you even start to think about the concept of money, which we can just say, lay that on the table, that it's just a medium of exchange.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's a tool.
Yeah. So having a why do you need this money, right? So Shannon, real quick, so what is your why when it comes to, why you want to build?
I can tell you there's different whys.
Yes.
But the first why for me was I am just not one of those people that I don't see myself working for anyone for 30 years. So employer is my why. Like, how can I get out of here as quickly as possible? I love what I do. I'm a nurse. I love what I do. However, 30 years of my life is just too long to be given to someone other than myself and my family, my loved ones, and my community.
Yeah.
So that was my first why. So as time went on and progressed, the second why is just me wanting to spend more time with my family.
Yeah.
So I guess it kind of piggies back off the, employer and not wanting to be there. But secondly, I don't want to just not work, to not be at work. I want to use it as a way and as a means to spend more time with my family.
Exactly.
And third, my why.
Oh, she got 3. Well, she got 3 whys.
Well, no, this has been a process, and
good.
that's important to know. It wasn't just one day I woke up and then all of this came together. It's been a process. So now the third why is something more along the lines of helping others achieve the same thing. So before I just wanted to make a lot of money just to make a lot of money. Okay, been there, done that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now it's like, that wasn't it, because I'm still feeling like this void in a way.
Yeah.
But once I actually use the money as a tool, put a plan together, now it all makes sense as to why I need the money and where it's going to go and who it's going to be allocated to.
Yeah.
And that is much more fulfilling to me.
That's good.
So
Okay.
those are my whys.
Those are her 3. Was that 3 whys?
Yeah.
That was 3.
I think so.
Good solid whys. You may have like a 3.5
Okay.
in there.
My bad.
Which I love that. And let's make that a practice, you know, like the 3 whys. And I think that gives so much fruit to the process.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, just saying, what is your why is a bit aggressive, because they're like, okay, I'm trying to take, I want generational, like, I want to break generational curses. I want to build generational wealth, but at the same time, I just don't want to work. So it's many different dimensions. And I like how you broke that down. That was really good, Shannon.
Look at, there's levels to this.
There's levels to this. I heard that.
There's definitely levels to this. But if you stick with it, it becomes more habitual and almost easier. So I think that's the most important part. It's a discipline, but one that just helps you strengthen your mindset. So
that's so good.
So yeah.
Okay, so now that I hear that you did put some generosity in there, let's talk about stewardship.
Ooh,
you know what I mean? Stewardship, because I want to talk about that, because a lot of times, I'll just say many of us, we want so much more. It's like we want the bigger house, we want the car, we want the clothes, the shoes, we want this, and we believe that's the things that are going to make us happy, right? So let's speak about that and what your perspective of stewardship is in dealing with the hand that you have dealt with you for you now compared to what you aim to do to get in the future. Okay,
well, first and foremost, when you talk about, you know, what is it, you know, that you want? Like, a lot of us want a lot of things: the big house, the nice car, the white picket fence, the cat, the dog, the turtle, the fish, whatever.
The turtle, I love that.
There's nothing wrong with that. You know, there is nothing wrong with having a lifestyle that you see fit, like, to be comfortable for you.
That's good.
However, the way to attain it is the trick. So a lot of people go out thinking that, okay, I have to get this job, I have to work these hours, I have to move up in the company and get a promotion and save my money, and, you know, then I can afford it. I've tried that, been there, done that. It got me somewhere, but when I tell you how I got the most out of everything, when I tell you, like, the most I've ever accumulated, it wasn't by working, it was by giving.
That's it. That's so good.
It was by giving, and it was by taking care of the things that I already had.
Yeah.
And it didn't make any sense to me.
It's so countercultural.
Yeah.
It's so countercultural.
I was like, what? Yeah. Like, but I have lived a life where I have seen that the more that I give, the more that I get. And it's not even like about material possessions per se. Yeah. You know, I get more wisdom, I get more insight. Yeah, money may be involved as well, but all these things accumulate to what's necessary to have the money mindset and to do all those things, like not having to work for an employer, spending time with my family, and giving to others. Yeah. So it all coincides, and it all, there's a part for every little thing to play.
That's so good.
So I take care of the things that I have, and I become content with it. And I really am. And I'll give you an example, like my Honda that I drive. Yeah. You know, I love that car.
Excuse me, I have to interrupt you.
Okay.
Yeah, her car's paid off, by the way, y'all. Ooh. So yes, let's talk about that too. But go ahead.
So when I got that Honda, like, you know, I didn't have any job. I was a student. I was in nursing school, had no job, but I had a picture of a Honda on my vision board. And all the Honda represented was a new car for me, because I knew I needed one and I wanted one. Yeah. So the more I looked at that thing on the vision board, the more I was like, well, that is like a nice car.
Yeah.
Then I saw it on the road. And then I was like, ooh, it looks even better in person. And then I was like, you know what? I think that's my car.
Yeah.
And one day, as a student, not working, I went down to the car lot and I got that exact same car.
See?
No job during nursing school. Never missed a payment. Car is paid off. I still don't know how.
Ooh. Amen.
So, but it goes back to, having faith, of course, but then also, I took care of that car, kept it clean, keep it washed. You know, it was my baby.
Yeah.
And I knew it was a gift. So I wanted to take really good care of it. And I think with stewardship, that's the key. Taking care of what you have and being content with what you have.
Yeah.
And that's how you get more.
Come on, Shannon, because
So-
you all you on my side right now, because this is exactly how to live a fruitful life. I can totally speak to that because, man, being content and grateful is the secret sauce.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, it's the secret sauce. And for people out there, like Shannon said, and really resonated, it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with wanting
Yeah.
to live comfortably, wanting to have efficiency. Like me, people think, oh, you just like nice things. No, I like efficiency. I love things that work. I love things that make life better.
Yeah.
And
Our life's easier.
Exactly. And sometimes that costs a lot.
Absolutely.
You know, but the intent is that it's efficient. So I don't want anyone to feel bad for wanting great things. But until you have those things, be mindful of the stuff you have already. I feel like I've spoken about this, but I feel really strong about it right now because you said it. It's that we have to take care of what we have. Clean the room, clean the house you have, clean the apartment.
Yes.
Clean the shack. You know, make it whatever it is. Make it nice.
Yes.
Put a little plant in the back. You know what I'm saying? Put a little plant. Burn a candle. Make it nice. And show your appreciation. And I think sometimes we can be so busy looking at other people and what they have. We really miss the beauty of our own lives.
And journey.
It's exactly.
Because it's our own, but we're looking at someone else's.
Exactly. We have a beautiful canvas that we can continue to add paint to.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, but we tend to like, oh, their colors look so much more beautiful than mine. It's like, no, your artwork isn't even done yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yes, I really, oh man, that really hits me hard because I'm like, oh man, that's the secret. That's truly the secret.
Being content.
Being content. Seriously.
Being content. And then once you'll find out that when you are content, you don't even want the things that you thought you wanted.
Yeah.
You know, it's you reach a place where you're like, wow, this works and I actually like it and I love it and I don't need anything else. And then here come all the blessings.
Let me tell you something. And Shannon is like that with her car too, because going back to her car example is that, you know, man, I got to put your business out there just a little bit, but because we haven't moved to, cause mind you, stay tuned because we're going to talk about the money. We're going to talk about investing. We're going to talk about some good stuff, right? Some practical things, but we got to get this part out the way because it's about a mindset. And one thing I know about Shannon with her Honda, which is real cute, by the way. I love that Honda. It's
I do
beautiful.
too.
It's
That's
blue.
my baby.
It's clean. It's nice. It's shine bright. You know what I'm
leather
saying?
seats,
leather
moon
seats.
roof.
Ooh, it's bomb.
Wee.
But again, as Shannon's life and her bank account increases, she's not looking to a depreciating asset.
Nope.
She's not, you know what I'm saying?
Everything I buy is a return on investment.
There it is.
I need to know the return on investment.
There it is.
That people, places, things.
See what I mean? That's
husbands.
the mindset.
Men.
Hello?
What's the return on investment here?
Thank you. It's called a ROI. You know, many of us know, but some may not. So yeah, and I think that's beautiful because we were talking about a car, like, you know, Benz that you liked. And like, yeah, that's cute, but my car paid off.
Right.
My car because once we have that mindset, then the money that we work for or the money that works for us can be the profit. It doesn't have to go out as an expense. You already are driving from point A to point B. But again, it does have to do with your strategy.
Absolutely.
Right? Because Shannon, obviously, she's going to get the car but it has to make sense.
Yeah, it has to be the right situation.
Exactly. And I feel like I'm speaking for you right now, so I'm going to let you talk.
What? No, you're fine. No, you bring up a really good point, B. So shifting from that mindset, you know, that I once had, which was, you know, what we're all pretty much accustomed to, wanting things, spending money to buy those things, and, you know, thinking we're going to enjoy those things. And we do for some time, but, you know, when you really think about it, it's not a great return on investment, most of our stuff. Prior to learning about money and how to use it as a tool. So now that I have a different mindset, a more mature one, and I understand a bit more about money, I still plan on having the big house. I still plan on having the car of my dreams, or cars of my dreams. You know, I plan on having whatever I want. However, I have a systematic way, you know, to go about getting those things, and that's through assets. And what assets are, they're just things that pay for your liabilities, like those cars and those big houses and those cats, dogs, fishes, turtles, whatever. So once you understand, like, that's cracking the code. You don't pay for the stuff that you want. You get other people, places, and things to pay for those things that you want.
That's the keys. Where are my keys at?
You don't have it.
That's all I got right now. Go ahead, Shannon.
So it took me a while to understand that, and there's different avenues we can go about that. You know, we're going to talk about the stock market, cryptocurrency, real estate, things of that nature. You know, but just know, like, I really feel like that's the formula that no one talks about, that school doesn't teach you about, that, you know, unless you know, you know. Exactly. But that's why we're here to tell you.
To talk about it. Because listen, first let's pour out our heart. Because I want, when people are watching this podcast, we're a family right now. I feel like we're at the table with, like, y'all are cousins. Y'all are our brothers and sisters, our aunties, our uncles are watching this.
Family.
You know what I mean? Our nephews and nieces.
Everybody.
And I'm not saying our family, but you guys are our family that are listening and watching, because this is also on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. So anyway, but so hear our hearts in that this is a conversation that we want to open up to anybody. Even if you're like, investing is a lot for me, I don't get it, I don't have enough, we're going to even talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
So to get back to what you're talking about when it comes to assets and allocation and things like that, let's move to budgeting real quick. Okay, let's talk about budgeting.
Okay.
Because budgeting is important.
Very important. It's going to be the first step, you know, and a lot of people don't like to talk about budget because no one wants to really admit, like, how much they're spending and what they're actually spending it on. It would actually surprise you.
Yes.
Because we're not conditioned in that way to just see where every penny of our dollar goes. Yeah. But in order to maximize your dollar, you're going to need to know where it's all going, because you're going to need to funnel it in other places if you want to get to the next level. So in terms of budgeting, you're going to need a budget. Like,
that's it.
Like, you're going to need a budget. However, there's different ways to make your life still fulfilled even with a budget. So, for example, I'll just use myself.
Use yourself, Shannon. That's what we're here for.
I'm going to just use myself for an example. I don't necessarily have a budget, but I don't really want anything. But when I do want something, I buy it. However, when I get paid, I'm going to tell you how the money's allocated, you know, and that kind of determines the budget.
Yes.
So, for one, 10% off the bat always goes to tithes.
Yes.
Tithes and offerings. 10% tithes, and then I offer what I offer.
That's stewardship right there.
That's obedience too.
It's obedience. And by the way, tithe is the translation for the 10th. That's where we get that word from, tithing. Yes. So go ahead, continue.
Okay. So I pay the tithe because it doesn't belong to me anyway.
That's right. Then
I pay myself. So I pay myself with my paycheck. And that sounds so weird. Like, well, your whole paycheck is yours. No, it's not.
No, get the notes out, by the way. So y'all write these notes.
Right. No, it's not. And it doesn't make any sense, because it's like, well, you have the whole paycheck. But no, we don't allocate it like that.
That's right.
In terms of gaining financial freedom that, you know, we're speaking about. So I pay myself 30% out of my check.
That's a good number.
Yeah, I think so. It didn't always start there, though. It was like at 20, then 22.5, then 25%. You know, I worked myself up. You know, I've been giving myself raises. Yeah. Since the job won't give me one.
Okay. So. All right. Look, don't muzzle the ox that tread the corn. That's what they call. That's what that's called.
So, B, you got me acting up in here.
Come on, it's a party. What? Hold on.
So,
Come on. I got you.
so I give myself the raises, okay?
Yeah.
So after I pay myself, only then do I pay any bill.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that, paying bills is important and, it's just a must, just for credit worthiness and just being a steward and being disciplined. But what I've noticed is that when I pay myself, I put it in a completely separate account, and it separates the money in a way that allows me to see where my money is going.
Yeah.
Yes. So if I do want something, I can take it out of that account that I've paid myself with.
Yeah.
But you have to see it in order to visualize, okay, I see my money, I see the tithe, okay, and then this is the money for the bills. Because before I had it all in one account, and it's hard to see, well, what am I earning? Well, what am I saving?
Yeah.
Well, what's what?
Right.
So when you separate it, you get a clear view of where your money is going. That's just on a basic.
That's so basic. It's like
it's just,
101.
It's basic. It's not even we can get down to the penny, but
right.
that may be a little too much
for this podcast.
Right. So I think budgeting, even in that way. So if there are things you must do, I have to have this subscription to Spotify. Okay, fine. Put that in the budget, but let that be. You know what I mean? Don't get carried away.
Right.
Understand how much you spend every month, and then at how much you spend every month, you need to say, okay, this is how much I want to save every month, and then cut corners where you can, in order to see some real money.
Exactly.
That you can do some things with,
exactly.
Buy some assets to pay for the other stuff.
Because again, it's a tool.
Yep.
And with budgeting, we can't skip over it without talking about discipline.
Oh yeah.
And what if I'm like, hey Shannon, I hear what you're saying, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but it's hard for me not to buy these shoes, or it's hard for me not to do X, Y, Z and whatnot. Because there's people out there that when they check come, it's gone.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Before they can even calculate it, it's like, okay, my check is already done. And again, wanting to pay yourself, because sometimes the balance may be disproportionate, because it's like, well, I am paying myself. That's the problem. It's like, I'm paying myself with 60% or 80, Yeah. So how are we to have discipline when it comes to things like that?
I think the first problem is that we're not conditioned in a way to save money in a disciplined way. So I'm not going to knock anyone for that.
Yeah.
It's not really our fault. It's not our culture.
Yeah.
And most of us don't come from that type of background. However, it is a choice.
Yes. Speak to the choice.
It is a choice. So we can choose to be disciplined in our finances. We can choose not to buy those shoes, or to say, you know what, I'm going to wait until, I get my taxes back. I'm just going to have to put this on hold.
Yeah.
Or we can choose not to.
Yeah.
I think it's a choice. But when you make that choice and you make that leap, you won't want to go back once you see the results.
Oh, that's the thing. And thank you for speaking on the results, because and I want to add to the results that discipline is connected to your why. So then you can make the sacrifice if your why has enough weight and enough value
to you.
Not what's important to everybody else, but what's valuable to you. It's like, even for me to sacrifice, because I didn't have an income for 4 whole years.
I still don't even understand that.
Let me tell y'all something.
I believe you because I know you, but
let me tell y'all something. And meanwhile, people be liking stuff oh, girl, you cute. Like, girl, no, these clothes, I've been having these for 10 years. Okay. I just swag it. That's it. I'll be going to the thrift store, but the sacrifice was so great, because it was like, but that part's not important to me. So then you become creative, because how can I still look fly, but in a way that doesn't drain my pockets?
Exactly.
But in a way where I can put my money in this one area that 5 years down the line, I can look up and say, man, I'm so happy I made that decision. Yeah. So it's like, take this as just a reminder to that discipline. It has to be connected to a why, because you're not going to be able to sustain it. It's like even with eating, and if you want to change your lifestyle to a more healthier palate, it's
Exactly.
like it's the health. It's, hey, if I keep doing this, I'll have a heart attack.
Yeah.
Or hey, if I keep doing it, my weight is getting a little ridiculous, so let me scale back, because the value in my why is connected to the discipline. And I think that's so important.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better.
But you did, girl.
No, not even. But I mean, if I had to speak on like what everyone's why could be, every time I'm on social media, I go somewhere, I go home, everyone's saying, I don't want to go to work. You know, everyone hates work.
Yeah.
So to me, that is the most basic why. If that ain't enough to,
let me tell you,
if that's not enough to make you want to, like, you know, configure your finances in a way that can make you not be at a place you hate so much, then I don't know what will.
That's good. Okay. That's a perfect point to pivot and start to talk about the power of investing. I think we say on social media, like, okay, this is goals. This lifestyle is goals. You know what I mean? It's like,
most of it ain't real. But.
It ain't, exactly. But we're thinking, and I'm being real general here, okay? So I don't want to leave nobody out when I say we're, because I may not be speaking for everybody. But often when people say, like, I want to be financially free, going back to discipline, it's like a detachment from discipline. It's a detachment from why. But when it comes to what you see and what you really want for your family, what you really want for your generation, your lineage, what you really want for your life, and want to leave that job. Yeah. You know what I mean? Man, we talk about the power of investing. Is that the way, Shannon? Is that how we're able to look up and say, oh, where does money come from? Or, like, I was strategic enough to, instead of trading my time, I just put my money in this particular bucket and let that generate money for me. What would you say?
I think it's a definite way.
Yeah.
You know, to get to that end result, which is financial freedom. Definitely so. Not the only way, but definitely a good way.
Yeah.
If done correctly and done over an extended amount of time. Yeah. No get rich quick schemes.
Come on.
You know, we play, you know, the long shoot over here.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, because Shannon got me involved in some stuff too. We're going to get into that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm happy about that. I get to say.
Yeah, we're doing it the long way.
Yes.
We play the long game.
The long game.
So investing is a key factor, I believe, in just attaining that financial freedom. And like many people, I knew little to nothing about investing, but I've always heard about it. I think it would be a great thing to teach in school, but why would, you know, people want the masses making money?
Why would we do that?
Right. Yeah. Like, you know, they teach you, you know, about the Louisiana Purchase. Still don't know what that is, but, you know, not sure if it's useful.
Right.
But, you know, I think investing is something that is useful.
Okay.
And, you know, that we should have learned. Anyways, so with investing, I was like a lot of people, didn't know where to start, didn't know what to do. And all it took for me to get started was a quick Google search, because I kept seeing, investing, you know, index funds, you know, options trading, margins, calls, puts, whatever. And I'm like, what are these? What is this?
What is it?
What is this? So look, just like everyone gets on Amazon every day to order something, I went on Amazon and I looked for some books.
There you go.
Like, so if you can't do that, I don't think anyone can help you.
That's right. And none of this will be helpful.
Right.
Yeah. If you can't just do those basic things.
A quick search. And what I was searching for on Amazon was a easy to read stock market book. Because like there was these terms and just all this mumbo jumbo that for like a novice investor like myself, like this is like another language.
Yeah.
So I wanted something easy, something that I could comprehend, and something that would just allow me to get started. And there was a book that I did find, because I go through all the reviews, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, everyone's saying the same thing. Oh, it's easy. Oh, it's life-changing. Oh, you know?
Yeah.
So I ordered it, and I read it. And the book that it's called, you have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got it right there.
Yeah.
There it is.
this book,
The
Simple Path to Wealth. If this is not the most like straightforward book in terms of the stock market, like I don't know what is, but it was the single book that got me started. Like this book and this book alone. Yeah. And one of the good things that it talks about is it was like for people like me who wanted to get into the stock market, didn't know anything, and were afraid. Mm-hmm. So he just kind of like points out how the author points out how the stock market like historically just goes up, it trends up. Yeah. So he tells you what type of account to get, which is like an index fund. Yeah, so they say that's like the lazy investor. I don't call it the lazy investor's account. It's like the beginner investor's
I would agree.
account.
Yeah, I would agree because I have an index fund. Thanks to Shannon.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Stop it.
And not to interrupt you because I do want our listeners to know this resource. It is A Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins. Mm-hmm. Okay, and with the foreword by Mr. Money Mustache. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead. Continue.
Okay. No worries.
Yeah.
So basically, the author talks about like how and why it's important to invest in the stock market for the long term. He's been doing it for like over 40 years. Yeah. He shares like his returns. He set up his daughter's account. He tells you can, just put money in every month. That's referred to dollar cost averaging. Yeah. And he just breaks it down in like a very simple way that makes you confident. And, many of us, we didn't have like that growing up, like anyone to teach us this sort of thing. So hearing it, at 30 plus years old from a stranger, but it did what it was supposed to do because I invest in the stock market. So, and I'm confident in doing so. And it wasn't always easy because I'm like, ooh, it's red. Ooh, yeah. The pandemic hit and oh my gosh, my money's disappearing. But he talks about that too in this book, what happens and what you're supposed to do. And truthfully, I've seen some pretty good gains on, just a little over a year of investing. So I feel confident enough to keep going and see what happens. And I think it's better than any traditional savings account.
I was just about to say break. So, you took the thought out of my head because I'm like, Shannon, let them know about these traditional banks because I hear the conversation saying, oh, don't invest in stocks, run away from crypto. I
don't know who scared people into like thinking that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like the biggest scam. Like, no, telling people to run from the stock market or real estate or crypto or whatever. It's like, if you knew what was on the other side of that, you be running to it and telling everybody So no, I mean, don't get me started on banks, B. Like they're like my number one enemy.
I already know it. They are okay. Just give us a little snippet for those who weren't able to tap into the sound palette. Just a little snippet about. Actually, I want you to be real with your comparison because Shannon did a comparison with leaving a certain amount of money in a bank account in a traditional savings account, and then she also compared that with an index fund.
Stock market index fund.
There we go. Which is like a diversified index fund that you can own shares of a company in one place, whereas we'll get into ETFs, but those are more single. I'll let her talk about that. But yeah, tell us about your comparison.
Okay, so after I read the Simple Path to Wealth, I told myself like, okay, I'm gonna invest in the stock market. Okay, but I wasn't gonna tell nobody because if I lost all my money, I didn't need no one throwing it in my face, like not my mom, like nobody, you know. So it was just like this like secret project of mine because I'm like, okay, someone's lying. Like, people say don't invest in the stock market. People say put your money in the bank. Like, what's the difference? And, I just wanted to see the comparison for myself. So I, like B said, I put a certain amount, and it was like a nice little amount in my savings account and my regular, like traditional, B of A account. And then I put like probably less in the stock market in an index fund.
Less, y'all.
Yeah, less. Like even like it was less.
Okay.
And I waited a year and I wanted to see like, okay, which one was going to produce more gains for me. And I even showed B. I was like, look at this girl.
She did.
I showed because I'm like, this don't make no sense. Okay, the bank. Okay, I had, let me see, like 5 figures in my savings account.
Okay.
What did they give me? $1 after? I think we did the math. So like the interest that they were giving me on a 5-figure savings account,
it was change, y'all,
was like $1, maybe 97
It actually
cents.
was less than $1 when you showed me.
Okay, no, but I did like that times 12 months.
Okay.
So that was like the interest for a month, and then we times it by 12. It was maybe like $1.20.
Okay.
Like for the year. For the year. So I put I think 5 figures in index funds over a year. And we got like a few thousand back.
See
like
what I mean? Look.
And I was like, what? This don't make no sense. But it made complete sense.
Exactly.
So ever since then, me and the bank.
She had a bone to pick with the bank, y'all. You know what's funny? What I learned is that I had a lot of the money mindset.
Yeah.
Before I got to the investment conversation. Yeah. And I think that's where and I'm glad we started the podcast this way because that's really where it's at. I couldn't even fathom this type of conversation without having the money mindset.
You have to.
So, and then even if you feel like you don't even have it, don't let that discourage you, because it's really about like going on to Google, having a desire to learn more. The information is not going to drop out the sky. You have to go seek it, you know. And when Shannon talked to me about this conversation of investing and her comparison in the bank and index fund, I'm like, well, girl, we gonna have to get set up today. Then. Yeah. So she like came over, like we went through the whole process and
set up your account.
She set up my account,
your brokerage account,
got the brokerage account popping off. You know what I mean? And now I send like a small amount, just like a percentage to the index fund
every month. So even better.
It's like, hey, feed a little bit there. And then if you're not really into like looking at, okay, what's Apple doing today and what's Tesla doing at that time, I think an index fund is very helpful.
It's perfect. It's the safe, smart investment because statistically speaking, the stock market always goes up. And
always.
What an index fund does, it's diverse in what stocks it covers. So it covers, I think ours covers like 1,200 different top companies.
3,000.
Oh, is it more? Oh, I'm sure. Oh, excuse me.
3,000 companies. I believe. Yes.
Oh.
No, but she's right.
Yeah, so it does the work for you. So you don't have to think about it. You just know that your dollar is going to multiply if you leave it in there for an extended period of time.
And that's exactly what it is. It's a long-term thing.
Yes.
So the way you do it, you continue to add to your account, and it's a long-term gain in the sense where it's like 10 to 20 years down the line. You know?
So if you got bills to pay, don't start an index fund like trying to get that money out, next month. This is really what we consider our savings account.
Exactly.
Because once that thing starts compounding and snowballing, it's game over.
I was gonna say that.
It's game over.
And to make this a reality, because I feel like what made sense for me, and I think this is so practical to understand, if you look around your house and you identify your lifestyle, what products do you use, right? So Apple products, right? Of course, right? We love Apple.
Oh yeah.
Starbucks.
Right. What do you drink?
Coca-Cola. Do you go to Coffee Bean? Do you drink Pepsi? Whatever. And understand that while you're utilizing these brands, these different things in your lifestyle, you can own a share of the very companies that you use by investing in the stock market. That's pretty much what it's about. And when we have the index fund conversation, it's like covering a diversified amount of companies at the same time. So when you put the money in, then it's spread across different companies. Oh yes. And your money can compound while you are asleep. That's the purpose of that.
And then they're so happy that you even bought into it that they'll give you like a bonus every quarter, which is called a dividend.
Yes. Dividends.
And it's like, hey, thanks for, being part of us. You know, thank you for being one of our CEOs. Here's a bonus for you. So again, just another way to just generate income to help you pay for those assets or those liabilities that you do want. And you're not lifting a finger. You're not wasting any time. You're making money in your sleep.
Exactly.
And that's the goal. to free up your time so you can do the things that you actually love and enjoy doing.
That's good. You do say buy in the red.
Yes.
'Cause that's when everything is on sale.
That's a sale.
Okay. The question I have is that how are we to keep our sanity when we put money in a bucket and then we see it looks like it's vanishing or it's dwindling before our very eyes? What do we do?
Okay. Well, first and foremost, when you put your money in the stock market, it's going to happen.
Yes.
It's bound to happen at one point or another. And when you see those red days where your money is just like disappearing, what I want to make very clear is that you only lose money if you sell.
That's so good.
You're not losing money when it's in the red. You're only losing it once you sell in the red. You know, that's what you're losing.
Give us a practical example, Shannon. Like if we put in like a little bit of money and then it shot up, and what does that look like?
Okay, so let's just, you know, for this sake, you know, okay, $100. We put $100 into, I don't know, Nike.
Okay.
So Nike is down today, $50. So it's like, ooh, you know, I lost $50 on my $100. Oh no, I don't, you know, the human mindset says, hey, don't lose the rest. Just get out now.
Yeah.
So if you sell that stock, you did lose $50.
You did lose $50.
You did.
Yeah.
However, if you hold on to it, you're down $50. But come tomorrow and that thing shoots up to $2,000.
Yeah.
Now you're like up, what, 1,900?
Yeah.
And that's what the stock market does.
And then times multiple shares that you bought.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's easy to get scared when your stocks are in the red. And I can be a testament to that, because I started investing in, you know, in the beginning of the pandemic where everything was crashing. And I was just this new investor. And I remember wanting to pull out. I think I lost like $1,000 in a day, and it was like my little, you know, investments were just disappearing. And I'm like, this book didn't talk about that like that. Come on, I didn't see nothing about no pandemic and, you know, simple path to wealth. What's going on? But again, when I want answers to something, I go online. So I went to this Facebook like group chat I think I'm in, and I was asking someone who was familiar with stocks, like, hey, do I pull out? You know, this is a pandemic. Like, I'm new to this. And it was a complete stranger. They're like, no, you don't. You know, that this is just called market correction.
Yes, market correction.
Yeah, like this is just a market correction. Like, no. This is normal. Please don't sell. And I'm so glad I listened to him, because had I sold, I would have sold at a loss. Yeah. But I just let it
panic.
Yeah, I let it ride. And because I let it ride, I got my money back and a bunch more.
Yeah.
So knowing what I know now, the red doesn't scare me. And if it irritates me enough, I just don't look at the stock market that day. Anytime I feel like my stocks are in red, like I haven't looked at my crypto in a while because I know it's in the red. So when things are in the red and I don't want to mess up my day, I just don't look.
Just don't look. Yeah.
Because it'll bounce back. It always does. So
just like you know what? You're going to bounce back when life tries to bring you down in the red. No.
Go ahead, Sister B. Let them know. Let the people know.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like life.
Yeah.
Hey, and for those of you who are like, I don't care about investing. No. The risk in life, we take risk every day. We take risks when we walk out the door, when we get in our cars. We don't really know how the engine works. We just know the car starts and it goes. We push, right. You know what I mean? We don't have to understand that. So I really want people to just get into this conversation, because I had to think about it like that. Like I take so many risks.
Every day.
So why am I so afraid to take a risk with money?
Because it's that unfamiliar thing that is so taboo and that is so needed in life, that you don't want to risk losing it.
But then we lose it by
buying liabilities anyway.
Exactly.
But that's what people don't want you to know.
Yeah, it's true.
They don't want you to know. They're too busy sending you ads every day on Facebook, on Instagram. They look at your search engines.
Oh,
and then
it's all calculated.
Yeah. They know how to get you. But then they'll say, oh, no. Don't invest in the stock market. You're going to lose your money.
Right. But come give it over here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. To this new Gucci belt.
So good. While we are on the topic of risk, let's go on and move to cryptocurrency.
Okay.
Because cryptocurrency, has been, man, something that has been very interesting.
Oh, yeah.
And has taken off. And I'm even learning. I mean, I've heard about it years and years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't do nothing.
Right.
Didn't even look into it.
I missed out on millions. I did the same thing. We missed out on so many millions.
Don't give me a cramp in my stomach right now because
I'm sorry.
You know, I was just thinking like, ooh, if Bitcoin then was a penny, and now when it's like, I didn't look today because I don't know if it's like 38,000 now or whatever. But I'm like, but so yes, don't think about that. Just start here. Start where you are when you hear the information. But yeah, let's talk about cryptocurrency. And for people who don't even know what that is, Shannon, can you give us a quick, definition, a quick statement of what cryptocurrency is for those who don't know?
Okay, I can try.
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like you could probably do it better than me.
I don't think so.
Okay,
Go ahead. I'll add to whatever you say.
Well, no, I think like the most simple definition for cryptocurrency is just like a digital currency that is used to buy, sell products without a middleman.
Yeah.
But keyword digital.
Right.
So what we have in money is like, this like concrete type of currency.
Yep.
Crypto is all digital and it takes out the middleman. It makes middlemen like the banks, my enemy. Not even necessary, but it allows for those sales to still facilitate between buyer and seller. So I definitely think it's a game changer, and I think it is what we are going to see in the near future.
Yeah. Decentralized.
Oh yeah.
Coin. Yeah.
Yes,
You did tell me that.
You like that word.
I do. I like diversify and decentralized. All those words I love.
Diva.
So like cryptocurrency, when I was thinking about it, you broke it down to me. What is it really that is so interesting about it? You did mention it's like digital gold and digital silver, right? It's not tangible. It's nothing you can touch. It's all
digital. People love it because yes, it gives their currency value in a way that can increase, decrease, and be whatever the people want it to be.
Yeah.
So for example, if we have $1, that's just $1. It'll never change its value. However, cryptocurrency acts kind of like the stock market. It goes up and down. So that one coin can be like $10 one day and $1,000 the next day.
Or 100,000.
Oh yeah.
One day.
Or $1 million. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So I think like the power that gives the holder of those coins is another way to attain this like financial freedom that we speak of. It's another tool to use to get to where we want to be in life without having to trade our time.
Yeah, exactly.
So also for the merchants, I don't know if you guys are aware that when you buy something and you pay with a credit card through PayPal, through Visa, etc., that merchant has to pay like a processing fee, maybe up to 3%. So they do it, but with cryptocurrency, they don't have to do that. So they're on board. There's no processing fee because there's no middleman.
Right.
The 3% processing fee is going towards the banks and, the middleman.
Yeah.
Cryptocurrency, there's no middleman. It's just a relationship between me and B.
Yeah.
B and Nike, Hermes and whoever. It's there's no middleman to take a cut for what? For processing something.
Right.
I mean, they're not doing any of the work.
Yeah.
So it's very liberating. And I think with the advancement in technology, it's definitely needed and wanted.
Yeah.
Because all these fees are just making people just not want to do anything.
Exactly.
Like it's just a turnoff.
I want to speak for the person that says, don't fool with cryptocurrency because, I heard, you know what I'm saying? I heard it ain't nothing to fool with. Don't go that route. Keep your money in your bank. Do what you've been told. Don't even do it.
Okay.
I'm gonna be that person just today. Not that I agree, but I'm gonna be that person. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, a lot of that is based off of fear.
Yeah.
Well, but first and foremost, cryptocurrency is the wild, wild west.
It is.
I'm not gonna deny that.
Volatile.
It's the wild, wild west. There is no regulation, like how, different financial institutions are regulated. However, that is a gift and a curse in a way, because the amount of money that you can make in days and minutes and even seconds, for me, far supersedes the regulation aspect of it, or the wild, wild west factor of it.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is that, I think I told you this story about Doge.
Yes, please tell that story, because actually I wanted to have you say that. Let's talk about that Dogecoin.
Okay, I don't know if it's Dodge, Doge,
I think it's
Doogie.
Doge.
Like, I don't even know.
Doogie.
I don't even know. But it was just this meme coin. Essentially, it was the first coin I actually invested in crypto.
Okay.
Didn't know what I was doing. Didn't know where to start. I just found a place to buy it off of Robinhood, because that was like the brokerage account I had at the time for crypto. They were able to sell you crypto. So anyways, I took a few $100, said, okay, like, I kind of like this movement. Didn't understand a thing about crypto other than what people had told me. But I said, all right, let's just see what happens. One thing I will do is, like,
you'll try it.
But yeah, I'll try anything with, that can possibly make me money. So a few $100, and but a really large backing in terms of, like, the community. Okay. So you had, like, the Mark Cubans, the Elon Musk, the Ellen DeGeneres. You had, like, all these people backing it. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let me get in at like 5 cents or whatever. But, like, $100 or a few $100 worth of coins. Okay, cool. 1, 2, 3 months went by. I'm losing money. I said, oh my gosh.
What did I do?
Right. But again, when I'm losing, I just don't look. So then I started seeing on the news, like, hey, Dogecoin is like skyrocketing. I'm like, oh shoot, let me take a look. I must have had like $6,000-$7,000 in profit.
Shut up.
In like 40 days, 40, 60 days. It was something ridiculous. And I said, okay. So I said, all right, cool. We making money. So then, like, maybe a month or two later after that, I was like at a $14,000 profit. So the first jump, the first spike in, like, $6,000-$7,000 that I saw off of a few $100, I was like, okay, let me see what's going on with crypto, because this is something. If this is like a joke coin, well, let me research some real coins so I can see, like, an even bigger gain or increase. So it prompted me to really explore cryptocurrency.
Okay.
In a way that has, like, led me to invest even more money into different projects, but I definitely think it is like the stock market, one of those avenues to take if you are trying to just get that, like, financial freedom, not have to work for your boss forever,
right.
Being able to spend more time with your kids and, just living a life that fulfills you.
Yeah.
So,
and having enough allocation where you can take those risks, even factoring that into your budget. Saying, okay, this is money that I can play with, that I can have a risk with. And that's how I've done it, because I'm definitely in crypto. It's really cool for me because I'm like, okay, I'm okay with losing this little bit. Yeah. And I think that's the mindset you have to have.
You have to, or else you'll go crazy.
Not like, okay, if I put this little last bit I have in, if I'm not rich tomorrow, I'm gonna lose my house. Don't do that. It doesn't work that way.
No, and that is a sure way to, some bad things.
Yeah. Shannon, tell us what your crypto portfolio looks like
in terms of what I'm invested in.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see, Ethereum.
Okay.
Bitcoin.
Okay.
Chainlink.
Okay.
Doge is still there, like, doing its thing.
Oh, you still got the Doge? You still holding up the Doge?
You know what? Don't talk about Doge, because it's literally being funded in, I guess, on Elon's rocket to space next year.
I'm not mad.
So it's down right now, but I don't knock the underdog.
Okay.
Or the underdoge.
That's fair. The underdoge. That's funny. I like that. That's so funny. So that's 4.
Okay. What else do I have?
You said Chainlink. Don't you got
Cardano?
Cardano. There you go.
I have I have some more DeFi ones.
And what's DeFi, Shan?
Decentralized finance.
There you go. Okay.
That's another definition. Look that up.
Okay.
But basically, it's something that will replace the bank. It's coins that you can use and that act as the bank. So they're able to give you like these high interest type of loans, or you can accrue higher rates of interest.
Okay.
When you store your money into these coins, like, 10-20% returns.
Nice.
So remember earlier back in this conversation, the bank gave me literally like 0.00001%
Wow.
on my money. Had I invested that same money into this specific coin, I would have been getting 20% back a year.
Wow. There you have it.
Crazy, right?
Yep.
Nope, it's real.
And she didn't mention she got some polka dot. I didn't hear.
Oh yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, she does. Look, she knows my. You know my portfolio more than me, girl.
But let me tell. But the people need to know.
I know because I forget because I have like okay, so polka dot, yes, and I think that's Decentraland, Mana, Polygon.
And these that we're calling out. So we have like the Bitcoin is like the
digital gold.
That's the gold.
And that's the standard only because it was the first one to come out.
Yeah.
It was like Bitcoin. Matter of fact, I remember when someone bought a Papa John's pizza for 200,000 Bitcoin.
What?
You know how much that'd be worth today? I don't even want to think about it.
Oh my God, my stomach's gonna hurt again.
I know that person is over somewhere, like passed out, upset at life.
Let me just move on.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about that.
I want to think about it. And then so Ethereum, so you have the Bitcoin and then you have the altcoins.
Yep.
So those coins that we were discussing, other than Bitcoin, is the altcoins.
Alternative coins.
Yeah, ALT for sure, altcoins.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that's just a little bit. But again, this conversation, let this be the starter for those who are interested. Like, what is all this stuff about? Go do this. We don't have time in a whole podcast to go through the whole entire thing. But I think doing your research and being sparked by the conversation will definitely help, unlock a lot of those different barriers or
lead your curiosity.
Exactly.
In a way that probably wouldn't have been done prior to hearing this.
Exactly.
So that's the point.
Yeah, exactly.
I think so.
I hear you, girl. So also, I do want to say this too. Should I just do it? Should I just, since we're talking about crypto?
Do it. Let's do it. Yeah. Okay. Let the people know.
All right, people. So this is just an example. This is the crypto.com Ruby Steel card. Okay. So from my understanding, mind you, when I talk about this, I hope y'all hear me that I am not an expert in cryptocurrency.
Neither am I.
But I have tested it and starting to invest in it, to learn it, to understand it, because I do believe it is the way of the future. And I don't, want to get, it's like you have to be mindful that by the time you get onto something that you knew you should have did, it's too late. So that's just kind of my mindset behind it. But this Ruby Steel card here.
Oh, look at that presentation.
You can see that. You can see the.
Did you pull it down for him? Oh,
I did. I think I did. Okay. For the listeners, you can look at it online. It is the Ruby Steel crypto.com card, and it's a Visa did a collaboration with crypto.com.
So that's how we're going to crypto. You have someone like Visa, who is like the world's, credit card company, distributed all over the world, and they have partnered with crypto to kind of see how it works out.
Exactly.
A big turnoff to crypto in general was people were saying like, well, we can't use it. We can't buy anything. If I'm just looking at all this money on a screen, how does that help me pay my bills or do something that's enjoyable for me? And I understood that completely. So crypto and Visa, they got together and they said, all right, now you can do something with your money, with your crypto.
Let's make it happen. Exactly. So the cool part about this, and I won't go too deep into it because there's so many fantastic YouTube videos on this topic and just breaking down what the Ruby Steel card is. There's actually different ones. There's a free one that's called the Midnight Blue, I believe. And I kind of switched in the middle of my problem. Like, actually, let me just go Ruby Steel. Yeah. So you do have to, what they call staking this. You have to stake, I believe it's about $400.
Something like that.
Yeah, to stake the Crow coins, which is a crypto.com's own coin.
Currency.
Yeah, it's their own currency. Thank you for correcting me while we're talking about this. I'm like, I'm in school. Okay. I'm in class, y'all. Let me try again. So, so anyways, they send you this crypto card by keeping your money locked up for
6 months.
6 months or so. And what you can do is now when you get a return on your Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever those altcoins are, you're actually able to spend it. So with your plan with investments and you're starting to see a return, now you can literally live off of your cryptocurrency. It's a real thing now.
Exactly.
And
go buy that Starbucks coffee.
Go buy the Starbucks.
Go and buy the J's, the bundles, whatever it is.
Whatever. She said the bundles. Yes, the bundles, honey. Yes, bundles. Whatever it is.
Yeah. But the cool thing that I like about that card is that, I don't know if you mentioned this already, B, but you actually get crypto back. You get 2% crypto back whenever you swipe it.
Thank you for, exactly. That was actually the incentive for me to get the card. Yeah. Because I know a lot of credit cards have that feature. But
it's only on selected,
exactly
things. The things that they select. Oh, it's gas this month. Oh, it's restaurants next month.
Yeah.
This is everything.
This is every single thing. So whatever you spend, you're getting 2% CRO, right? 2% back in CRO. And that CRO, you can use that to reinvest it in other cryptocurrencies, or you can cash it out and use it again. Today, it's so funny. We're filming this podcast because today was my first time actually using this at Stater Brothers. Okay.
How was the experience?
It was fun. I don't know. People look at it like, what is that?
No. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I didn't mean to cut you off, but no, my mom, because I even got my mom a card. And when she used it, they were like looking at it like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like,
because it is metal, y'all.
Is it, who is this? Like, so that's how you know you're ahead of the curve.
It's true.
Like, you know what I mean? It's one of those things that, like, if you take advantage of today, you will be so happy.
Seriously, you'll
in the next few years.
She's so right, man, because you'll be able to put this to work. And please don't go out and get this just to look cool, because that's not what it's about. Okay. And don't mishear me saying, oh yeah, it's metal and it's pretty, people look at it. That's not why I got the card. It's really utilizing it today was great because the transaction goes through same way, but you get to even see, what you're earning from it at the same time. And it's very easy to use. So that's just a cool way.
Yeah. Only thing it doesn't pay. They won't give you 2% on your rents or mortgages.
That's the disclaimer.
Or utilities. Yeah. But everything else, you're getting 2% back in CRO. And like I said, the thing that I like about crypto is one day CRO can be worth 10 cents. The next day it can be worth $10.
Exactly.
So I just generally like that concept better than having, just a regular dollar.
Me too. So it's like your same expenses that you use throughout the year, and now you're getting 2% back in CRO. Like Shannon says, it can go up. So it actually goes with the crypto market. So like you said, it can be, $100 just off of that's 2% in $100.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's crazy. This is what I went to mention using this card today. It asked me, did I want cash back?
Oh.
Which told me that if I were to earn whatever profit off of my coins, I can cash this out.
Oh, yeah. So you can actually see your cryptocurrency, whereas years prior, you couldn't
do that.
Yeah. Very limited space for crypto. And now you can see, or we see that it's evolving in a way that is just realistic and more concrete and more, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just better.
Yeah, and it's tangible, right? And it makes a lot of sense. So again, do your research and to see if there's something that works for you, or at least understanding the wave and why people are talking about it. And definitely look up some YouTube videos on it, because they do break it down and how to use it.
Oh yeah,
and it is tied to the app. Let me be specific. It's crypto.com. It's the app crypto.com. Super easy, intuitive dashboard where you can see the crypto market and also invest in different coins and just take it from there. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a crypto conversation. Yeah. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
all right.
I liked it.
I have a last note just for a little bit of real estate. Want to throw that in there. I know we're going a little past our time than we expected. Okay.
It's cool.
But it's all good. We're having this conversation. And just a little bit about real estate, Shan. I don't want to get too deep into it because
it's broad.
It's very broad.
Yeah.
But I do want it to be known that you are a homeowner.
Yeah.
Yes. Where's my bell? I just do the ching ching. Yes. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, boo.
She has 2 homes now.
Yeah. And it's so funny because that wasn't the plan.
Yeah.
I was here's that word again, content with, where I was, what I had. I wasn't even in the market for a home. But I feel like I was just kind of led to it because, you know, where I was staying at the time, there was just a bunch of noise. I couldn't sleep at night. I was working long hours. I'm like, look, I got to get out of here. You know, it was like, I don't know. I feel like it's one of those things like if you don't move, God will move you.
That's it.
You know?
That's it.
So I definitely think it was one of those moments, one of those times. So anyways, one of my coworkers were like, hey, you know, this house, I think she's done with it. It's across the street from me. You know, I can get you the number. You can check it out, see what happens. Okay, cool. You know, and I called her and I took a look at it. And yeah, there was 2 houses on one property. It was considered a duplex, I guess a detached duplex. Never had heard of one of those before, never had seen it. Was only in the house for one market I was only in the market for one house. And we walked out with 2.
Ooh.
So
just so casually, we walked out with 2.
Well, no, I'm gonna get you. Watch when this thing stop rolling. Well, no, because it was just one of those things. Like I needed to solve a problem, and the problem was the noise. And it just so happened to work out in a way that I couldn't ask for anything better. So when I contacted my bank, this is the only time I've been cool with the banks, you know.
Okay. So she only used the banks when it comes to houses. And
oh yeah. Yes. So I contacted the bank, and, you know, had never bought a house before. So I'm just like, hey, can I buy a house? And they're like, okay, let's run some numbers. Let's see. And they're like, oh yeah, you qualify for this. But basically it was like this program that was going on that would have the bank pay the down payment for the house and the closing costs.
Wow.
So I came out of the pocket. Nothing. I got the house for free.
Oh my God. I can see people saying, how, Shannon, how?
I don't know.
What? I'm sorry. We got to bring the faith in right now.
Yeah.
The how is God for us.
Yeah.
Because that's how it just works. Especially when the intent was, I just need to get up out of here because it's too loud. It's too.
Yeah. But before I didn't even want to do that, I was just like, oh no, I'll just stay. And, you know, I'm cool. I was content. I was okay.
You better tie in the beginning of this message. You better tie in being content.
Yeah, I was content. I was very content. It wasn't even on my agenda. It wasn't even on. I had no.
Go ahead.
I'm laughing at you.
I'm sorry. The audio listeners can't see our facial expressions. So.
No, but it wasn't even. I didn't set a time frame for that. I didn't even think about it. So it was like literally like a real gift from God because. It wasn't even on my mind, but I was tithing, I was giving, I was being a good steward. Yeah. I was, you know, just doing the things that I had been normally doing, which is, you know, being obedient. Yeah. And, being disciplined.
That's so good.
And, I think I'm sure this was one of many blessings because of that. So again, content, give, all that. Be a good steward.
What a way to close it out. Yeah. That's so good. That all ties in. I truly believe when you are giving, the return on investments, the ROI of the gift is not just money. No. That's what's so beautiful. And for anyone listening and watching, a lot of times we need wisdom. We'll watch podcasts all day. We want to know how to get the money. We want to know how'd you do it? How many followers do I need? What time do I need to post? What do I got to do? And all these things that we seek after people for the information. But I'm telling you, when you start to give and you just be generous, this isn't a plug for Power Speaks Louder, okay? Because that's fine. But this is really when you do that, you start to do things that you like. I know I didn't know how to do this, and somehow I do. Yeah, I think that's the true power of God. Oh yeah, and the power of wisdom, saying, you know what, because I really value knowing what to do and when to do it. And with my qualifications and my background, Shannon's background, like if y'all didn't know, Shannon is a nurse. Okay. That's her life. Okay. And she's also a numbers person. So it does work for her. That's in her gifting. But a lot of things that she started and that she does is based on pure wisdom as a result of being just content and being generous and being a great steward over what she has.
And being obedient.
And being obedient.
Yeah. So if I just have to leave everyone with one thing, I would just say give more.
That's good.
That is like the key to leveling up.
That's perfect.
That has been my experience.
Okay. That's a great way. That's a great key, is to give more. All right. Thank you so
right.
much, everybody.
You
this is such a great
me.
conversation. Thank you, Shannon.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. Thank you for listening.
Yeah. Everyone who tuned in, I value you. I love you so much. We love you. We want to see you win in your finances.
Flourish.
Yes. And we want to see you flourish. We want to see you grow. And all the success stories that's going to happen, you know, out of this moment we had today. Yeah. Please share. I'm very interested in hearing that. And before we leave, before we go, I want to add another book to this. With
Which one?
This one right here.
Ooh, I like that one.
Grow Your Money. This is by Bola Sokunbi. It's from Clever Girl Finance.
That's a good one.
This is a really good book. It's super basic. I mean, it's very easy to read. It's an easy read. It's very small, actually, and very thin. And she breaks down investing. And even if you're a guy, you know, young man, young to old, no matter what, a great book to have to walk you through the basics.
Oh yeah, and there's like a lot of visuals in there too, and comparisons, and breaks it down to like a elementary type level. Yep. That's how I learn best.
Exactly, me too. So Shannon has this book too. Yeah, we share the same books. Get you a friend that you can have a book club with,
right?
And that you can have these conversations with, because it's very helpful when you're able to collaborate together.
Amen.
All right.
Yes.
So thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Thank you.
Check us out on the next podcast. Money moves.
Yes.
Money moves.
Love y'all.
We love y'all. Before you go, I have 2 things to remind you of. Be sure to follow Shannon Nicole on Instagram and Facebook at The Lupus Coach. Specifically on Instagram, it's the.lupus.coach. And if you're interested in the Ruby Steel Visa debit card that I discussed earlier, where you can get 2% cash back on card spend and also 100% back in Spotify, go ahead and hit the link in the description of this video, and we will both receive $25 upon signing up, and that will be $25 in Crow coins, and that's the currency of the app, which is crypto.com. Okay, stay tuned for more. I love y'all so much, and have a blessed day.
Help us to educate, empower, and transform lives by the power of words with those around the world. Visit www.powerspeakslouder.com/invest to invest in the lives of people today.